All right. Hey everyone. You're with Alex. I don't usually ever say my name, but you're with Alex, the flower guy, today in Southwest Virginia, Zone 6B. Look behind me here. Let's take a little bit of a tour. So, as the title says, we're moving out. We have all the rows gone. We have taken up so many T-posts. I think we took up around, I don't know, 60 or 70 T-posts in here, and I'll show you in the back of my truck in just a minute. But the only thing left is actually taking these bags out of here, our refrigerator, and maybe a couple of large items. We have the fan right there was borrowed, so we don't have to worry about the fan too much, but that right there is ours. The little tower, the garden tower, I would love to restart that in some greens. That is ours. Turn back over here. We have to take the shade cloth off, I believe, but this shade cloth right here, this is ours. So we get to take some of the stuff home. Not the big fan, it's not ours, but we're moving out. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And the reason why I say that is, let me turn around 180 degrees here and show you why. That is full of tubers that have showed new growth. Let me show you. Come on. So as I'm going to show you this trailer full of new growth, hopefully the fan's not making a huge racket, but look at this. Miranda had decided to cut some tubers back a couple of months ago. Miranda is my wife, and she had decided that she said, let's cut some of these back. So we have Cornell all right here all the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have like 12 right here of Cornell. That is awesome. Awesome. They don't look the best, but it's okay. Let's see. They are infected. I just want to explain something really quick. A couple of things. When you're taking flowers from somewhere and they're infected, the first thing is never put them with your original flowers that you already have, because it will contaminate them. Of course, that makes sense to a lot of people, but then some people don't even think about that. Never do it. You got to quarantine them. Now these right here I know have spider mites and aphids. The first thing that I did was brought them out here and rained them down with the water hose right here. So we brought those out here. I talked to a professional this morning, and the professional told me that has lots of experience, that said you should have brought them out of the hoop house a long time ago. So here it is. Dave Dowling had told me this morning that everything in the hoop house, when I was getting contaminated and mutated and all these things, they should have came out of there. They should have just transferred right out of the hoop house out into the open fields. Because what the open fields does is that, yes, you can have huge infestations of things, but there also is a lot of beneficial insects that can help you. But then the rain comes down and washes the spider mites down. What do spider mites love? Hot and dry. But in this case, we had some humid stuff. Let's see. So they're coming out. We have peach right here. They kind of look like a little warped and drooped over. They're really shocked. I kind of picked the roots up a little bit, and when I was doing that, let me tell you something. I am not all the way organic, and I don't claim to be, but I love to be. When I can, I want to be organic. But today was like one of those things I just had to do. I put 10-20-20 on these right here, and then also I lifted them up, and when they get home, I'm going to have to spray them. What am I going to spray them with? Well, I'm probably going to spray them with some neem oil, which is organic, but then I'm probably going to spray with some sort of systemic that goes down to the actual tuber itself, and then I'm probably going to spray some Rosex. So Rosex is like a herbicide, miticide, insecticide. So does neem oil, but then the systemic that I'm probably going to use, well, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a little bit different. So we were able, at this moment, we were able to save some orange, some Cornell, some peach, which is cream, peaches and cream, and then we were able to save some Senior's Hope. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Then inside of here, I mean, we have a total loss, but listen to this. The company that I was using, and I'm gonna recommend this company. This might be something you get scared of, but the company that I used for these tubers was Ball Horticulture. And if you've never used Ball Horticulture before, I would recommend 10 out of 10 that you should do that, because not only did they have gall on them, but it was like a no-brainer kind of thing. I actually, this morning, I called about these Seniors Hope here, and I told them, hey, I lost another entire crop. You know what they did? They refunded. Not that one necessarily, but they don't even argue with you or anything. They ask you for traceability and how you know. Well, all of mine were in bags. All of it had organic sun-grown soil in it. So that's how I kind of know. And then so they say, can you take some pictures? I took a few pictures. Then I showed the entire crop dead. I just took a picture of the entire crop dead and sent it in an email. So not only did we lose our crop, but they did give our money back. They gave us a credit, and that credit we've already spent. So I did order some tubers. I did order probably a couple thousand tubers for next year, and I'll be showing you some of those what I ordered. But then look at this. We are getting stuff off the hill here. The stuff off the hill, to specify and clarify for you, is at my house. We have this refrigerator about 40 degrees, and then we have our cornels in here. We have some, just some different types of dahlias in here. Happy Halloween, but they're looking really nice. Hey, and if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe if you haven't yet, or make sure you leave a like for us. It really helps the channel and supports it. So, all of the stakes that I was using are the, let's see, not the stakes. All of the irrigation equipment that I was using was greatly, not donated, but let us use by that facility right there. They're a cannabis facility, and they let us use all the irrigation in here, which is great. There's overhead irrigation too when you need to cool the place down. I know that creates more humidity, that creates more problems when it comes to the dahlias, but it's part of it. It's really part of it. So we're, you know, a couple of things that we're doing right now. We're going to be getting this back together. Hopefully, maybe we can get some greens out of it, like I was saying. And then I planted green beans at home. Planted those at home. We got some green peppers over here going, and this is where we're dumping everything at. It kind of makes me sick that we're just dumping thousands of dollars of tubers right here because of spider mite problems, and they do have some rot. One thing that I would say, you know, this is just me speaking, and let me show you these peppers real quick. These got some habanero banana peppers here. Or not habanero banana. What are they called? Habanero, I don't know. I forgot what kind they were. I need to get these planted right here. But let's talk back about the, I want to talk to you about the actual bags themselves. Let me move this real quick. And I want to sit down and talk. My chair's falling apart here. Look at that. Oh, who cares? Now I probably need to go somewhere over here, away from the fan, so you guys can hear me a little better. All right, just a second. All right, well, my chair's like choked up. A couple of things that I want to talk to you though about these bags is that maybe I should be making another video on that, and comment below if you'd like to know another video on the actual bag itself. But these bags were used for cannabis, and I believe that in these bags were reused. Let's clarify that first. And they do have holes on the bottom of them, so let me show you that. They have holes on the bottom of them. You can see all the way around. They have good irrigation flow, or you should say drainage, but they do have that, okay? The soil, you need to really look at your soil and see what kind of drainage you have. You need vermiculite, you need perlite, and then you're going to need some sort of good quality soil. I had all three of those, but the soil was too heavy itself. It was sun-grown soil that we used this year, and I would be very, very careful if you're going to try to grow in bags. A lot of things, really, you have to touch them so many times. Once you put them in the ground, they're in the ground. Now, if you're a hobbyist and you just want to grow them on your porch, mulching in some pretty pots, I'm okay with that. I think I could agree 100%. But when it actually comes to growing professional or commercial or just on large scales, I'm not even saying I'm commercial or professional because we're all learning in this. But when you're growing in large scales, it's hard to actually regulate the plastic bag, and the plastic bag doesn't seem to breathe like an aerated bag that would be fabric. And if you're using fabric, they breathe a lot better. That's why they call them an air pot, and that creates oxygen to the actual tubers and creates better and healthier root systems. So I think with this one that they were turning a little bit yellow, no root bound, so you can grow in pots. You know, there's no root bound like that, so you can grow in pots. I just didn't like the fact that it was plastic. They were black because black creates heat, and you know they'll start to wilt almost every day. And dahlias, you know, they're so temperamental. Once you get them 2 or 3 foot high, you don't want to go any. You don't want to start transferring those into different pots, different sizes, because it creates a lot of shock for the actual tuber itself. And when you have a lot of shock, it's not going to do good. It's going to stunt or either die. So there you go. That's my skit for the bags right now, and that's where I would leave it. Here's a pile of bags. They just look trashy. You can't really reuse them. If you got bleach or something, you can maybe do it something like that. It's just so much work, so much work. I mean, if there's 500 bags in here, right? You got 500 bags in here. You're gonna have to touch them at least a couple of times a year. If you're, I don't know, if you're at your home and you have a good set system and you decide that, hey, I'm gonna make my rows 16 inches in between each plant. I'm gonna make 4 foot beds, and then I'm gonna have 3 foot in between those so I can walk. I feel like that's the best thing to do, because in zone 6B here, you can actually mulch these over and you don't have to dig your tubers up. I've actually heard a lot of other places that are even north of us, like probably in, let's see, in Maryland and Ohio. I hear of people just mulching theirs as well, but if you plastic mulch them, like put plastic silage tarp over top of them and then mulch them, the only thing you really have to worry about is becoming frozen or the mulch. So those are some of the things that you can take in consideration if you're not growing in a bag. That's the transition here. So, and that's really it. I mean, I probably got 15 or 20 different peaches and cream out of here. And if you're actually trying to order it, and I want to tell you a great place to order is called Edney Ball. Like I was just saying, it's Ball Horticulture. If you haven't ordered from there, you're not going to spend tons and tons of money on the actual tuber itself. You're going to spend a lot less, but you're going to get, I don't know, the quality you're going to have to adjust and justify that for yourself. So are we going to be growing in here any longer? And the answer, the short, simple answer to that is not right now. We lost a lot of money in here this year. We probably lost, I don't know, $7,000 in our time. So that's one thing to look at. Did we lose in here? What was the potential gain out of here? We were thinking $1,200 a week. The max we were getting at one time was like $100 or $150, maybe $160 at the most. And this is a 27 foot wide by 80 foot long. So we were keeping about 10 foot on each side, basically for what we needed. Anyways, instead of rambling on here, just for a second, I just want to tell you that we were moving. And we're putting everything at the house. We're putting everything beside the beehives, just to make sure that it's not corresponding with our other dahlias that we have over on the hill. We need to make an updated video on that as well. But nonetheless, we did get a full trailer load of dahlias. You know, if we paid $2.25 a piece for those, they're going up by 10% this year. It's just, it's unreal. Of how much when I first started, they were like $1.70 to $1.85 to $1.90 on the highest premiums that you could get. Now they're $2.25 going up from there, and we're just packing up. It's been very hard packing up here. There's been so much stuff. We've cleaned up all of these walls here on the front walls. There's only a few more things we have to get out of here. And if you guys have been following with us, and if you haven't, go back and check out the video about where we started in here. It was a crapshoot. I'm telling you, everything in here was just full of junk. Same as it is right now, but I feel like we're leaving this place a lot better than what we found it, especially after we clean all these bags up and get them into the dumpster and then get that soil out of here. So, you know, always leave places better than you found it, better than expected, so that the person or the company decides that they would like to have you back in here again. One thing that is dreadful is trying to get that fridge out. And what I've been thinking about with that fridge is where the freezer comes in, right at the top, right there. I'm thinking about cutting that whole entire square out so I could fit about 4 buckets in there. I kept the grid so I can actually put the 5-gallon buckets in there, so then I could be able to put almost 4 buckets in there. Another quick thing that I wanted to tell you, an update, is we did find another wholesaler close by to be able to buy some of our dahlias. And hopefully they'll be buying a lot of our dahlias in the early spring. Hopefully, if we don't screw everything up, because it's very hard. This company that we're trying to work with, and I don't know if you've ever worked with a company like this before. That bag scared me. I don't know if you've ever worked with a company like this before, but they want estimates, and I've never worked with a wholesaler like that. They want, hey, we have 10 bunches of this and 18 bunches of this. That's really hard to do, especially when we've had so much loss this year. And what we're trying to do is just build that competition-free environment, because there's a lot of other people coming into the dahlia market. But be known for something. Like for us, we're known around here as the flower guy, and we're also known for the dahlias that we produce. So make sure that you're known for something. Who did you buy all those dahlias from? We bought all the dahlias from Ball Horticulture, and there's nothing down about them. I don't have anything bad to say about them. They're a great company that you should be looking at, and it's easier said to call them and try to order something than actually place an order online. Just so you know that, and they're out of Chicago. And you should be placing, if you haven't yet, you should be placing all of your dahlia orders right now. Here's a rule of thumb. When your dahlias start blooming, you should always, let's see. Yeah, check their policy. So when your dahlias start blooming, you should always be looking at and ordering your dahlias for next year. That goes with any bloom that there is under the sun, because that's when they start to look at new hybrids, look at new designs of the flowers, new patterns that are coming out. So make sure you're looking at that, because some people, something that you're paying for high on a dahlia sometimes is the actual patent, and that's a royalty. You'll be paying like $10 per tuber, or $5 per tuber, or $1, whatever it is, whatever they come up with. But that's something you need to look up. And you know, another thing is that you can't sell or propagate dahlias that are patent. So you need to look at something like that as well. Anyways, nonetheless, thank you for watching, guys. We'll be putting out a couple more videos here in the next few days. And thanks for just joining with us. So until next time, you're with the Flower Guy, Zone 6B, Southwest Virginia. Thanks.